Have you ever tried to win a fight with a cardboard box? Well, it sounds like a joke, something out of a Saturday morning cartoon or something, but as we sit here in April 2026, that absurd image, a cheap folded piece of Australian designed cardboard, is currently outsmarting some of the most expensive radar systems on the planet. Now, this isn't just a quirk of modern engineering, it is a fundamental shift in the physics of power and something that's about to dismantle everything you think you know about strategic advantage. Whether you're running a military campaign or a mid-sized marketing firm, if you are operating on the assumption that bigger is better or expensive is safer, you are currently a $50 million target waiting for a $3,000 solution to find you. Now, the problem we face today is that our human OODA loop, the cycle of observing, orienting, deciding, and acting, has become a bottleneck. We are moving from an age of kinetic mass to the age of algorithmic velocity. In business and in war, the speed of thought is now officially too slow. I'm Andre Smuts, and today on Thinkstrumentalist, we are exploring why the high ground is no longer a hill, but an algorithm that can navigate without GPS. So, to understand this, we're going to have a look back to Greek mythology and the legend of Talos. So it's forged by Hephaestus, the god of technology, and Talos was a giant man made of bronze, and he was designed to protect the island of Crete. He was the world's first lethal autonomous weapons system. He didn't have a soul, he had an operating system. If intruder, then hurl rock. He was tireless and powerful, yet he was defeated not by a bigger army, but by a hacker. The sorceress Medea exploited a single bolt in his ankle, causing his internal power source, E-core, to leak out. Today we have modern versions of Talos, systems like Palantir's Maven or Israel's Lavender platform. Now they are breathtakingly efficient, sifting through mountains of data in milliseconds to identify thousands of targets. But like Talos, they are reactive, not contemplative. They recognize patterns, but they don't understand the context. So let's look at the cold, hard mathematics of this new reality. So in the old world, warfare and business were games of scale. Whoever had the most steel or the most capital usually won. But in 2026, we are witnessing a collapse of the cost exchange ratio. And just look at the data. A Russian Shahed drone costs about $35,000. To shoot it down, you often need a Patriot interceptor missile that costs $3 million. That is a cost ratio of 85 to 1. Even more startling is the SciPac cardboard drone. It costs $3,200 because it's made of wax-coated cardboard. It is virtually invisible to traditional radar. It can pepper a $50 million strategic bomber with enough holes to turn it into a very expensive lawn ornament. Now, this is what Nassim Taleb called anti-fragility. The modern military-industrial complex, and perhaps your own business, is fragile because it relies on expensive, centralized platforms. The swarm is anti-fragile because it is decentralized, cheap, and learns from every failure. As we speak, this is playing out in real time with the whole Strait of Hormuz dilemma. We are seeing the Pentagon use AI to expand target lists at a rate humans couldn't possibly vet. And in response, we see human chains being formed around power plants. And this is a fascinating form of data poisoning. The Iranian officials know the algorithms are trained to avoid certain collateral damage, signatures. And by placing humans in the frame, they are trying to create a moral and logical glitch in the machine. And this leads us to what the philosopher Paul Virilio called the integral accident. When you invent the ship, you also invent the shipwreck. When you invent algorithmic warfare, you invent the algorithmic accident, a catastrophe that happens faster than the speed of human thought. Now, in these high-speed systems, the human operator becomes a moral crumple zone, you could say, just like the part of a car designed to absorb an impact. The human is there to take the legal and moral blame when the system fails, even though they had almost no time to actually deliberate on the machine's choice. So what is the now what? How do you survive in this algorithmic crucible? Well, I think first you must adopt a mosaic strategy. You know, the age of the big fragile platform is just about over. Whether it's a massive corporation or $1 billion carrier, these are just targets for a swarm. You need to become a collection of small, independent, decentralized units that can coordinate at speed but aren't destroyed by a single point of failure. And second, we must resist cognitive surrender. A study actually from Wharton found that the more we use AI, the less we scrutinize the results. We start to trust the machine even when it's wrong. Your primary defense in an age of AI noise is deliberate slowness. In your high-level strategy, use the machine for the drudgery, sure, but never outsource your values. So the age of AI isn't going to replace us. It's going to reveal us. It's going to show us exactly how much we value our own judgment, our ethics, and our humanity. The battlefield of the future isn't a 10-mile stretch of land. It's the 6 inches between your ears. So stay sharp, stay grounded, and most importantly, keep your hand on the bolt. It's really essential. Before you go, I want to hear from you. In your professional life or your business, are you currently building a $50 million bomber that's vulnerable to a $3,000 cardboard drone? And what is the one thing you can decentralize today to become more anti-fragile? Let me know in the comments. I'm really looking forward to seeing your insights. I'm Andre Smuts, and I'll see you in the next one.